Hello and namaste to all of you. This is Javin Shalu Singh from Department of Physiotherapy and Diagnosis from Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Today I'll be talking with you all about the topic nutrition. It is basically energy, metabolism, and nutrition. The knowledge about nutrition is very important, and its importance is seen in developing countries where 60% of populations are below the poverty line. Now, dietetics is basically the science of food and nutrients and their actions. Uh, their action, interaction, and also balance in health and disease. So the main purpose of food is basically to what? Provide energy for your muscular activity and also to supply basic body building materials. Now, which can be such as amino acids. So, which is the basic unit. Now, while we go through this chapter, there are certain terms which will come, and these terms are important because they are always given as short notes. So one of the most important term which comes up is, and the first important term that comes up is your calorific value. Now, what is calorific value? So the energy content of food materials is basically measured in your calories. Okay, so what is 1 calorie basically? So 1 calorie is the heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water through 1 degree Celsius. So definition is very important. So 1 calorie will be the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water to through 1 degree Celsius. Now, since it is very small unit, so in medical practice, the energy content is usually expressed in kilocalories. Now, which is can be written as kcal, small k and cal. Now, kcal is equal to 1,000 calories. 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1,000 calories. Okay, so it's important to know because you'll require this in your mathematical calculations. Okay, the questions will be there and you'll need to calculate them. So it's important to know that 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1,000 calories. Now 1 kilocalorie is also equal to 4.2 kilojoules. Okay, so the maximum available energy contained in food can be measured by burning it in an atmosphere of oxygen in a bomb calorimeter. Now, bomb calorimeter is your instrument which is required to measure the amount of energy produced by a particular food. Now, what is calorific value basically? So the calorific value of is also known as your energy density, okay, which is energy yield per unit weight of food. Now, calorific value for different biomolecules is different. So let's say about carbohydrates. So carbohydrates, it yields 4 kilocalories of energy, and which in joules is your 16 kilojoules per gram, and consumption of oxygen in liters per grams is 0.829, and carbohydrate produced is also 0.829, and the respiratory quotient, which is calculated by oxygen produced upon my oxygen consumed. So oxygen produced is your 0.829 divided by oxygen consumed is again 0.829. So you have to just write it down. It's all mathematics. So if you cut it, you'll get 1. So the respiratory quotient is 1. So formula for respiratory questions, which we say is carbohydrate produced upon में carbohydrate consumed. So the respiratory question is 1. Now energy yield kilojoules per liter of oxygen is said to be 20, okay, which is same for all the biomolecules. So now comes your fat. Now fat, it yields maximum energy, which is your 9 kilocalories per gram. And again, energy yield for kilojoules per gram is 37, and oxygen consumption is 2.016, and carbon dioxide produced is your 1.427. Now to calculate respiratory question, you'll have to divide 1.427 upon 2.016, which you will get as 0.71. So the respiratory question for fat is 0.17, and energy yield kilojoules per liter of oxygen is again 20, which is same for all. Now comes your protein. So energy yield for kilocalorie per gram is 4.2, which is almost equal to your carbohydrates. Now energy yield kilojoule per gram is 17. Oxygen consumed is 0.966. Carbon dioxide produced is 0.782. Again, respiratory quotient, which will be calculated as 0.782 by 0.966 is your 0.81, and the energy yield again 20. Now comes your alcohol. So it yields less but more than actually carbohydrates and proteins. So it yields 7 kilocalories per gram of energy. So after fats, the whatever leads to more energy yield is your alcohol. So it yields 7 kilocalories of per grams of energy, and in kilojoules, which can be your 29. Now oxygen consumed is your in liters per gram is your 1.429. Oxygen produced is 0.966. Now 0.966 upon 1.429, the answer will be 0.66, and the energy yield will be 20. Now the first thing which I told you in kilocalories per gram, energy in kilocalories per gram, how you convert it into kilojoules is basically by multiplying it to 4.2. Okay, so for all the values you can multiply it to 4.2, and you'll get the approximate value. Okay, and for respiratory question, which I said, you will have to divide. So you will get for carbon dioxide produced upon the carbon oxygen consumed, and energy yield is always same, which is 20. Okay, so now since we know that maximum amount of energy is produced by fats, but the oxygen consumption is also maximum by fats. That's why the fats are not used as your primary source of energy. Okay, so your primary or your first source of energy is always carbohydrates. Why? Because it consumes minimum amount of oxygen, and your its and respiratory question is also maximum. So uh, carbohydrates and proteins are always your primary source of energy, and fats are not the primary source of energy, even though they are producing maximum energy. Okay, and now after calorific value, the next term comes up here, respiratory question. So I've told you just now that respiratory question is defined as the ratio of volume of oxygen produced in liters per gram to the oxygen consumed in liters per gram. So the respiratory question of carbohydrate was 1. For fat, it's 0.7. And for proteins, it's 0.8. So for a mixed diet, it can be in between points in which you're taking all protein, fats, and carbohydrates all together. So the respiratory question there can be zero point 0.7 and between zero point 0.7 to 1. So, or it can be around like 0.82 to 0.85. So when the rate of utilization of fat with increased in relation to your carbohydrates, so the respiratory quotient will fall. Now, this happens in diabetes mellitus and when utilization of carbohydrates is reduced. Now, the respiratory quotient is lowest when ketolysis is very active. Okay, so the energy produced is approximately equal to 20 kilojoules per liter of oxygen, and it is same for all the metabolic fuels, which I also told you. Okay, now the what will be the energy requirement for a normal person basically? So the energy requirement for a normal person is calculated uh, or said in three terms. Like first term is your BMR, which is basal metabolic rate. Second will be your SDA, specific dynamic action. And thirdly, we say extra energy expenditure for physical activities. Okay. Now, what is basal metabolic rate? So, basal metabolic rate, it's defined as the energy required by an awake individual. Okay, awake individual during physical, emotional, and digestive rest. Okay, when you're just awake, sitting, and doing nothing. Okay, you're awake but you're doing nothing. So that is your the amount of energy that is required at that time is your BMR. Okay, so that energy is what basically it is the when you're sitting and doing nothing but you're awake means you're alive but you can't do anything, right? So that is like you can also say it is the minimum at that point of time. It is the minimum amount of energy which is required to maintain life or to sustain vital functions. Okay, so if you're sitting and doing nothing, it's just the energy which is consumed by your vital organs. Okay, so that is that. Now it is the minimum amount of energy required to maintain life or sustain vital functions, like your working of heart, whatever energy your heart is consuming, whatever energy is your circulatory system consuming, or the energy required by your brain to function, or energy consumed during the respiration, etc. So the metabolic rate during sleep is less than your BMR. Okay, so if you're sleeping, first of all, you're not conscious. So your various metabolic functions are working less. If you're sleeping, your brain is working less. You're not conscious. So your eyes, your nervous system, your heart rate is always less. Your breathing rate is normal. So at that point of time, the energy requirement is even less than your BMR. Okay, so now what is the resting metabolic rate? So resting metabolic rate is the measure of energy required to maintain life or vital functions. Okay, so the subject is awake and non-fasting, so it is approximately about 3% higher than your BMR. Okay, now BMR is measured directly by the heat evolved or indirectly by the volume of oxygen consumed and carbon dioxide evolved per unit time. Okay, so BMR, so if you want to calculate or measure your BMR, so like I told you in a bomb calorimeter, how you're measuring it is by measuring the amount of energy, heat energy that is getting produced, right? So here also the amount of heat that is evolved or indirectly the volume of oxygen that is getting consumed, okay, and carbon dioxide that is evolved per unit time. So that is your BMR. Okay, now in next sections, I'll tell you about how you measure your BMR, and there are certain factors that affect BMR. Okay, so BMR for different age of people and for different sex is different. Okay, because obviously of different activities we perform, and because of like a child is more active than a old age person, so he will have more require more amount of energy than a person who is old. So depending upon your age or your sex or your body like whether you're in your cold sections or you survive in your hot sections, like in summers you produce more, your body produces gets warmer sooner. Okay, and in winters your body will require heat to compensate your body temperature. So in colder times your body produces more and more heat. So depending upon that your BMR varies from person to person. So for that we'll get into it in our next sections. So until then, let's you take care and goodbye.